So welcome back guys to another video, and recently I've been tagged in a video by Heavy Metal Gamer, and I love these kind of videos. I love these kind of response videos. I think it's a great way to get to know other YouTubers, find other channels. It really helps like merge the community and get to know people a little bit better. I think it's really cool because the gaming community is huge. There's a lot of people that make YouTube videos on video games, and unfortunately a lot of great channels kind of slip through the cracks, and it's a great way to get to know these kind of people. And Aaron asked me to share an embarrassing story of myself, and it took me a while to think about this because I have a lot of embarrassing stories. There's plenty of times I've put my foot in my mouth, and so I decided to share two stories to you guys. I'm going to share one from my childhood. Well, they're both from my childhood, but one's going to be non-gaming and the other one's going to be gaming. But before I start this, I'm going to take a quick sip of some Fireball. Fireball cinnamon whiskey. Whiskey with a natural cinnamon flavor. Yes. I'm going to have to get a little drink real quick. This kind of wet the whistle. But it's good stuff. So, let's get into a embarrassing gaming story. This is probably when I was like in second grade. For the Super Nintendo, a game came out called Mario is Missing. And, you know, this game was a great example of taking a gamble when you had to rent a video game. You know, it was something that you had to rely on the back of screenshots, the little squares of gameplay, and sometimes you didn't really understand what the game was all about, but all I knew was this game was always out. Someone has always rented this game at Blockbuster, and I was like, man, I really want to play it, because it looked like a sequel to Super Mario World. I was like, man, I really want to play this, and I wanted to play it so bad. I knew every weekend it was rented out, so I decided I need to rent it during the work day, you know, during the week. I need to order it then. And so I decided to play hooky. And I decided to act like I was sick. And the best way I could do that, being, you know, in second grade, I knew I didn't have like cold-like symptoms. You know, I knew I didn't have a fever. I didn't know how to fake that or how to, like, you know, act like I was throwing up or something. So the best story I could come up with is I told my mom I had diarrhea. I was like, I can't come to school today, Mom. I have diarrhea. So she was like, okay, well, you know, she took me to the store, got me some fluids and stuff like that. And I decided, you know, I wanted to go rent a video game because my mom, every time I was sick, she would always go out and rent a video game for me, or I'd get like a Happy Meal. Or if I was really sick, I'd get both. I'd get the Happy Meal and the video game. Pretty awesome. And sure enough, Mario is Missing was available, and I picked it up. I took it home. I remember I popped it in the Super Nintendo, and I got ready to play it. It was an educational game. It didn't dawn on me that Where's Mario was actually a game based off geography. And I thought it was quite ironic that here I am playing hooky to play an educational video game. Man, dude, I was so pissed. I was so mad at this game. I was like, I felt bad that I made my mom spend the money to rent this game that was this complete garbage. And the funny thing is, I actually had that game in my collection. When I went out to a local retro video game store, I saw it there, and it was pretty cheap. And I'm like, you know what? I hate this game, but it has so much nostalgia to it that I picked it up, and I played it a little bit. I enjoyed it a little bit more that I'm a little older, and, you know, I kind of understand the mechanics and what the game's about. But at that time, holy shit, man, that game really pissed me off. Now, a just embarrassing story from my childhood was also in second grade. I decided to keep it in the same time frame. There was a girl in my class named Jessica, and all the guys liked her. All the guys liked her, all the girls wanted to be her. She was like the popular girl in that class, and I don't know what it was. Maybe it was picture day. You know, I came into picture day wearing a full suit, and she like just got, you know, smitten by me. She thought I was really, really cute at that point. So she decided she wanted to go out with me, and I remember when she asked me out, it was during like the playtime. You know, like we were going to like the classroom was divided in different like centers. Like you had the reading center, you had the block center, you had the, you know, kitchen center. You had all these areas where kids would go play during the classroom time. And I was in the reading center, and she went to go ask me out. Of course I said yes. But I was right behind a heavy bookcase, like a bookcase very similar to the one behind me, but it was a lot wider. And I remember when she asked me out, I was so happy, and I went and I leaned against the bookcase. I kind of put all my weight towards it, and that's when I felt the bookcase slowly shifting. And it was like in slow motion. The bookcase fell sideways, and there was also a plant hanging on the ceiling, so it knocked over the plant too, so there was like books and dirt everywhere. But the thing that I was really lucky about was the fact that the kids that were right behind the bookcase in the block center had just got done building like this huge tower, and they had just walked out to show the teacher what they had built. So I possibly could have killed 2 kids. I could have really, if not killed them, I would have really injured them because they were really small. The bookcase was really big. And the funniest thing about it is right after this bookcase fell and the dirt went everywhere, they had an announcement over the intercom in my classroom. My mom had just got ready to pick me up for a doctor's appointment. So it was like after all this shit went on, they're like, you know, Miss Freeman, can you send, you know, Alexander, can you send him to the office to prepare to go home? And she's like, yes, he can go home right now. And I didn't say a word. I just packed up my book bag. I put all the stuff in there. I looked over at Jessica, the girl that had just asked me out, and I was like, I'll call you tonight. And I did. But yeah, that's some of some embarrassing stories of myself, and like I said, I have so many more, but I thought those 2 were really, really good to make a video about it. You know, to keep the YouTube tradition alive, I'm going to tag 3 more people. I'm going to tag Michael Burhan, the Nerd Genius. I'm also going to tag Magnus X1. Yeah, I'm going to tag you, Anthony. And also, I am going to tag my friend Jeremy of Top Tier Game Reviews, aka Savage Mentality. So you 3 guys have to tell me and the YouTube world some embarrassing stories about yourself, and I'm looking forward to it. And also, if you guys have not checked out Heavy Metal Gamer, I'll have a link on the description below of that as well. He has a fantastic channel, great discussions. He shows some really good gameplay while he's having these discussions, so you almost get introduced to video games while at the same time finding out, you know, different things on his mind and stuff like that. So it's almost like a two-way street. You can either watch some really good gameplay, hear some good discussion, or you can just listen to it almost like a podcast. I think it's the best of both worlds. So definitely check out Heavy Metal Gamer, great YouTuber. As always, guys, thanks for watching, thanks for subscribing, and as always, happy gaming. Can't get enough of Excess Gaming Podcast? Be sure to check out the audio podcast on Podomatic.com, or you can also subscribe to us on iTunes. Also, if you have a YouTube channel or podcast you'd like to share, be sure to check out the Excess Gaming Podcast Facebook group page and join our community. All the links are below, and as always, guys, thank you so much for all your support.